Victor, we got a tape running in here. I know that they took one statement from you already.
Okay.
The detective stopped that tape. We put a second tape in. It's Thursday, just for the record, it's Thursday, August 3rd, 2006, and it's about 5:30 a.m. Okay? And just for this record, this tape, give me your name.
Victor Zaborsky.
Okay. Victor, how do you spell your last name?
Zaborsky.
Okay. And Victor, you know we're investigating a murder that occurred tonight on Swan Street.
Yes.
Do you know the decedent's name? Person was killed.
Robert Ron.
Okay. Okay. You've been here for a while, right?
Yes.
You've talked to a couple detectives?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We've done a lot of investigating since the time that you've been here. Now, you're not under arrest. You realize that?
Yes.
You're here voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. You've cooperated with the police voluntarily?
Yes.
You've stayed in this room voluntarily?
Yes.
And you made a statement to the police voluntarily?
I did.
Okay. All right. Nobody's threatened you in any way?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything?
No.
Gave you any promises about what would happen if you said this or that? Anybody told you what to say?
No. I was sort of threatened because they're talking about how there's three of us and that one person's going to turn. So I will say that somebody did say that. The sergeant said that to me.
Okay. He said that there's three of you and one of the three of you would turn on you?
On somebody.
Okay. But no police officers or the sergeant, did he threaten you?
No. His
Okay.
his tone was more aggressive than anyone else, and he was, I mean, we all want to know what happened.
Okay. All right. But just to be clear, he didn't make any threats to you directly?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, since you've been here, it's been a while, a couple hours anyway, we've learned a lot about what's happened. While you've been talking to detectives here, there's been other detectives that are at your home on Swan Street. They're forensically processing, I mean, the fingerprints, the DNA, using chemicals and different things to detect blood and things like that, talking to neighbors, that kind of thing. We've talked to Joe. You know Joe?
Joe?
Price?
Yes, he's my partner.
Okay. And Dylan?
Yes.
And you know Dylan?
Yes.
Okay. How are you with those guys? Are you okay with them?
We're a family.
Friends?
Yes.
All right. No bias
No.
against each other at all?
No.
Would they have any reason to lie about you, saying you did anything
No.
like that? Okay. We've learned a lot of things of what happened at that house, and we think we pretty much got a good picture of what happened. I know what you've told the other detectives. I've looked at your statement, I've talked to those detectives, and in comparing that with all the other information that we have, Victor, you're not being honest about everything. There are things that you're holding back. And let me tell you this. Whatever happened between the people in that house. Nobody broke into that house. That didn't happen. We know that for sure. Now, there's one person that's going to be guilty of murder for stabbing Robert. Anybody that tries to cover up for him is going to be just as guilty and charged just as if they stabbed him. You're shaking your head, but I'm telling you that's absolutely truth. That's what's going to happen. Now, if you're in a house, hypothetically, and a fight happens, and it gets out of hand, and somebody gets stabbed, just you being in that house doesn't necessarily make you guilty of anything. If after that you do certain things to try to cover it up, maybe in a state of panic, that can be explained. That doesn't necessarily get you criminally charged. But the further down the road a person goes with that cover-up, the more liable they are. Eventually they can be charged the same as a principal, the same as a person who killed him. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
Okay. I don't think you're telling us the whole truth about everything that happened, and I need you to tell the truth. For your benefit, you need to tell the truth.
I have told absolutely the truth, absolutely 100% the truth. From the beginning of my story to the end of my story, I have not said anything that I know to be factually incorrect. I am absolutely certain that everything, I mean, from the time I started the conversation to the very end.
That's exactly the same thing Joe and Dylan have been saying all along, up until about a half hour ago. That what we're saying is the truth, what we're saying is the truth. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. We gave one of them, a polygraph, the lie detector test.
Mhm.
They failed it. Outright failed it. The truth comes out.
I heard it.
Because they're caught.
I can't believe that there was any kind of fight, because I would have heard a fight.
Victor, I think you do know what happened in there. and I think you need to come out with that.
I, honest to God, have no idea. I really believe that there was an intruder in the house.
Absolutely not. No intruder.
I
Absolutely not. But we can prove there was no intruder. And I'm not going to give you all the information that we have, because that's part of the investigation. And for the integrity of the investigation, we certainly can't disclose everything we know to you. But I can tell you this, with absolute certainty, based on scientific physical evidence, nobody came in that door. Nobody went out that door. There was no intruder. There's 3 people in that house besides the person that was killed. You, Joe, and Dylan. One of you killed him. 2 of you try to cover it up.
No.
Now, we need to get it straight. All right? You need to get this out.
I am telling you 100% truth. Exactly as I told what happened is the way it happened. I did not hear anything else. I had heard no struggle. I heard no fight. I have absolutely no reason to understand or believe why either Joe or Dylan would be angry at Robert. I have no...
What about you? What
Listen,
about you being angry at Robert? What about you being involved in this?
I know for a fact that Joe, Dylan, and I did not do this.
How do you
There
know
is
that
no
for a
way.
fact? How do you know that for a fact?
I know because Joe and I were together when we heard the screams. And the other reason, I know Dylan. I know what kind of person he is.
What kind of person is Dylan?
He is a good person.
How so?
He's a quiet person. He's a gentle person. He's a kind person. He's very talented.
I think that's exactly the way they describe the Unabomber. So I don't think you can go by those kind of traits and say that he's a great person or a good person. Listen,
I can't tell you a story that...
every one of us are capable of things in the heat of passion that you wouldn't normally think that you would do. Those kinds of things happen every day.
It just doesn't make sense.
It never makes sense. It never makes sense, but it happens. That's why they call it the heat of passion. It's not rational. It's nothing that you think out. It happens. Things happen. Things happen inside that house that led to Robert's death. Don't let those things lead to you being charged with the murder. What do you do for a living?
I'm in advertising
How long have you been doing that?
for 10 years.
Good job?
Yes.
Make good money?
Yes.
That's an expensive house.
Yes.
You're a homeowner.
Yes.
You have family?
Yes.
Where?
In Philadelphia, and I have family in Silver Spring, Maryland.
All right. So you've got a whole lot to lose. Have you ever been locked up before?
No.
Have you ever gone through anything like this before?
Never.
This is not where you want to be.
I know it's not.
This is not what you want to do. You want to tell the
A
truth.
friend of ours died tonight.
A friend of yours was murdered tonight. He didn't die. He didn't just die. He was murdered. Somebody stabbed him with a knife from that kitchen. And you know who that someone was.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Yes, you do. You certainly do know.
I do not.
You do know. And the further down the road you go with this, the worse it's going to be.
I am
Now,
telling
listen,
you the truth.
Victor, I'm telling you. This is the time you want to get it out.
I know.
Don't keep going down this road. Do you know where Joe is right now?
No.
Do you know where Dylan is right now?
No.
Do you know what they've said?
No.
You do not want to go down the road you're going down.
I know that I am telling you the exact truth.
No.
Everything that I know.
You're telling us what you've agreed to say. You're telling us what was rehearsed.
No.
You're not telling us the truth.
When would we have rehearsed this?
In the house before the police got there. How long do you think he was dead? How long do you think Robert was dead?
I have no idea.
We do. We know how long he was dead. We know that. That's why we know you're not telling the truth.
We are absolutely telling the truth.
Now, you don't even know what they said.
I don't know what they said, but I know what happened.
For all you know, they may have said you did. They may have said you were in the kitchen and you stabbed him. You don't know what they've said.
I know that we would all tell the truth.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
You're not all telling the truth. All of you lied. All of you lied. Now, of the 3 of you, somebody's telling the truth. At this point, somebody's telling the truth. That's how we know the other ones are lying.
Well, the truth
It
that
can't
I
be.
know is
Yeah,
what I told you.
no, not the truth that you know. There's only one truth. It's not the truth that you know, the truth that I know. There's only one truth. It's the truth about what happened in there.
And the truth
And
is,
you know what happened in there. No, the truth is not somebody broke in that house. Nobody broke in that house. The truth is somebody in that house killed Robert.
that is not.
That is the truth. Whether it's a heat of passion, whether it's a romantic involvement, whether it's a jealousy thing, whatever the reason is, somebody in that house killed Robert. He killed Robert. Somebody killed him. Try to cover it up. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. It is not going to work. No matter how well that house was cleaned, you could not clean up that blood. No matter how well, listen to me, you cannot clean up that blood. That crime scene tells the truth.
And that is why I feel very comfortable.
You shouldn't feel
I
comfortable.
do, because I
That
know
is what you're saying.
it is
You
exactly
should.
what happened.
No, that is not exactly what happened, and there's no way that you're comfortable. Look at you. You're sitting in front of me shaking. I'm reading your body language. Listen to me, Victor. The two of us, we've been doing this for a long, long, long time. I can't tell you how many hundreds of people have sat where you're sitting now. This is what we do.
I know.
You get an instinct for things. And I'm sitting here looking at you. I'm sitting here reading your body language. I'm hearing what you're saying. But everything else is telling me that you're lying. Your friends are telling me that you're lying. Victor, somebody's getting charged with murder tonight. I'm telling you, somebody's getting charged with this murder. There might be more than just one somebody. And you need to get the truth out. You got a whole lot to lose. You do not want to go to jail. Absolutely not. DC jail?
I have told you
No,
the truth.
no, you haven't told me.
I have.
No, you haven't, Victor.
I have nothing else to add. I mean,
There's things that you can add. There's things that you may not want to add, but there are certainly things that you can add. You haven't told the truth. Your story doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense.
I don't even have a story. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know who did it. I don't know how they got in our house.
How they got in your house. Nobody broke into your house. Let that go. That charade is done.
There is just no way. There is no way that somebody...
Absolutely there's a way.
I honest to God, do not believe it.
Why don't you believe it?
Because I know...
Because you don't want to believe it.
No.
Because you don't want to believe it. Things happen. Situations get out of control.
I can't even understand. There would be no motive. I mean, Robert is a friend of ours.
A motive. Friends kill each other all the time. Husbands, wives, lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends. Friends kill friends all the time. That's what happens. That's what happens. What, you think this is something new? You know how many domestic murders there are in this city? Those are people that love each other.
There was no fighting. I heard no argument. I heard no screaming. I heard no yelling.
Victor.
I swear.
Victor, it ain't gonna work. It is not gonna work, regardless of what you may have been told by your friends. This is not gonna work.
We haven't talked at all.
Victor.
I swear we have not
Victor.
talked at all.
Bullshit.
The only conversation we had was in front of police officers on the sofa and the chairs. Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it
You
is.
have talked. You have talked. You talked to Joe, and you talked to Dylan. And one or both of them are talking to us. And you want to be the only one left out there?
Yes, I'm going to be the only one left out there if that's the case, because I am telling you 100% the honest truth.
That is not the truth. It is not the truth. That man was dead for a while.
It's impossible.
That's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's a medical certainty. Yes. Yes. Think about your story. A person breaking in? Nobody's going to believe that. Somebody breaks in to your house, goes into that particular room to kill Robert? Who would even know he was there? No. Absolutely not. The implausibility of that story, coupled with the physical evidence on that scene, absolutely nobody broke in that house. One of you in that house killed him. Yes. One of you killed him. Maybe you. One of you killed him. One of you killed him. Absolutely certain. Absolutely certain, and we're going to get to the bottom of that. Truth is always going to come out. Always comes out.
I believe
No
that
matter
too.
what. no matter how well people think they plan things out. And you can't plan things out afterwards. There's too much panic.
I believe
Things
that
get
too.
overlooked.
I believe you. I absolutely believe
You should, because it's absolutely true. It is absolutely true. And those evidence technicians will stay in that house for days recovering all of that
And
evidence.
I hope they do, because
They
I hope
will.
they find the person who did this.
Well, we know who did this. We have the person who did this. Finding that, I mean, there's no manhunt for a person. We know who did it. We got him. We got him. Now it's just finalizing everything. It's wrapping everything up. You cannot go to jail. I'm telling you from experience, as many years as a police officer, you will not last in D.C. jail. Those boys will eat you alive. That is not a place that you want to go. And you don't want to go there covering some bullshit up.
I am not covering anything up.
You need to tell the truth.
I am.
Things can be worked out. People understand. There's different levels of homicide.
Honestly, I am telling you exactly the facts as I know them.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. There's things that you're not saying. There's things that you're holding back.
No.
Yes, there is. I know that. She knows that. You know that. Now, if you just want to say, I'm not going to tell you everything, that's fine. But don't tell me that you're being honest and you told me everything, because, no, absolutely not. And you know what, Victor? You are not a killer. You don't have the heart for that. You absolutely are not a stone-cold killer. We've talked to a lot of them, and it ain't you. I'm telling you, you don't have the heart for this. You don't have what it takes to go the distance in the game that you're trying to play. You don't have it.
I'm not playing a game.
Yes, you are. The game that you're trying to play is you're trying to cover up murder. You're trying to hide facts from the police. And we do this every day, day in and day out, all day long, with people a lot harder than you. Now, as far as murder cases go, this is one of the easier ones. Nothing complicated about this. All the pieces are there. It's just a matter of putting them together. And you can sit here and shake your head all you want, but at the end of the day, the truth is, you know what happened. You know what happened in there.
I don't know what happened.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know what happened in there. And you need to come out with that. You need to tell the truth.
I am
That's
telling you.
all we want is the truth. All we want is the truth.
I'm telling the truth, and I think I'm done.
You think you're done what?
I mean, I don't want to talk anymore. I mean, I've told you everything I know. I told you exactly what happened, that I saw, what I heard, when I heard it, and I have nothing more to add to that statement. I really, honestly, have no idea what happened. I don't know how somebody broke in and there's no evidence. And I don't believe that. I think your team will find evidence, because it's impossible that something else happened.
Well, Victor, let me say this to you first of all. You're not under arrest. You are free to go whenever you want to go. Nobody's forcing you to stay here. You need to understand
I
that.
wanted to cooperate. I mean, my friend was murdered.
I know you want to cooperate. I know you want to, because I can read it in you that you want to cooperate. Every time I look in your eyes, I can see that you want to get it out. It's there, but then something stops it from coming up. Now listen, you're free to go. You don't have to talk to me whenever you don't want to talk to me.
Okay.
And I appreciate you cooperating. And I wish you would continue to cooperate. And I wish you would cooperate fully, because I think Robert deserves that. I think his wife deserves it.
Absolutely.
And if you're a true friend, you would. But it's up to you. It is up to you. This doesn't end this morning.
It's obviously, this doesn't end this morning. I mean, my life will never be the same.
No, you're right, you're right. It will never, ever, ever be the same. Because of this one incident, it will forever be changed. The degree of which it changes is something you have a little control over at this point. Now, later on down the road, you might not have that option anymore. You might not have that control. And your life really may change.
I've told you everything I know. I told you the sequence of events. I've told you the times the best as I know them to be. And I really have nothing more to add. So I would either like to go or have an attorney.
Okay. That's fine. You sit tight for just a minute, okay? Let me make sure that nobody's out here.
Could you put the fan back on?
Yeah, we'll put the fan on.
Time right now is about 5:50 a.m.